Welcome to another edition of A Word in Season. I hope you are well and keeping yourself warm, especially with the cold and wet weather we've had in the last few weeks. Today I would like to share with you about the various storms of life that we face as part of our existence and the natural order of things after the fall. Storms come in various forms and intensity. Some are small and manageable, while others are massive and overwhelming, and can be very difficult and painful to handle. 2 weeks ago, I had to take one of my kids to the hospital for a follow-up procedure to investigate a chronic condition that has been going on for the last 4 years. As a parent, it is never easy when your child goes through health issues that can be overwhelming for them. You feel helpless because there is nothing you can do about it other than being there to support them, care, encourage, and love them. Whether we like it or not, storms come that will confront us and will test our faith. The Bible is very clear on this, and Jesus himself made it clear to his disciples when he said, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I was reminded of a story in the Gospel of Mark when the disciples were with Jesus after a series of teaching ministries to a huge crowd. Jesus wanted to get away with his disciples and sailed on a boat for a quieter place. Then a huge storm came and massive waves broke over the boat. In the midst of this chaos at sea, Jesus was fast asleep at the stern. Mark went on to say that the disciples woke him up and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drowned?" There's been many times that I have personally asked similar questions myself through the various seasons that I have been through. Janelle and I have asked similar questions many times too, whether God cares or if he even noticed our situation. One of those times was when we nearly lost Gabby to bronchopneumonia while we were living and serving in Zambia. As I reflected on this story, I could not help but notice how Jesus responded to the chaos and the storm that he and the disciples were facing. With his divine authority, he spoke to the wind and the waves, "Be quiet and be still." And the wind and the waves obeyed him. The Message version puts it like this: "The wind ran out of breath. The sea became smooth as glass." I also like how the Amplified version puts it. It says, "And the wind ceased, sank to rest as if exhausted by its beating, and there was immediately a great calm, a perfect peacefulness." I think it is important to note that Jesus' first response was to calm the troubled sea. Then he used that situation as a teaching opportunity for his disciples about faith. He said to them, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" You see, when Jesus said, "I will be with you even to the end of the age," it simply means he is with us all the time. So when we go through challenging times, let us be assured of his abiding presence as he promised. Therefore, we are not alone. The most precious and valuable life lessons are those that are learned through the most difficult circumstances in life and not the easy way of life. In this desperate situation, the disciples in Mark's gospel did not even have faith the size of a mustard seed. After the exorcisms and healings they have witnessed, they still did not fully understand or trust the power of Jesus. So now, having shown Jesus' power over the demons within people's hearts and bodies, Mark shows us Jesus' power over the demons of the sea, the primordial forces of chaos. Of course, the disciples' response was one of fear, and they said to each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." Whatever you are going through right now, let's hear the words of Jesus in John 16:33, where it says, "I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace." We can find peace in the midst of the storm in Jesus because He is the Prince of Peace. He is our Emmanuel, who is going to journey with us through the various seasons of life. Let me encourage you today to meditate on the words of Paul in Philippians 4, 6 and 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. My hope and prayer for you is that you will experience the peace of God today, even in the midst of what you are going through. May God bless you.